Hey everyone, David here again. Thank you so much for joining us for another 3-minute devotional. If you've been following us, we've been doing a series through the fruit of the Spirit, which is found in Galatians chapter 5. And we're on the last one today, and that's peace. Now, when I got thinking about peace, I couldn't help but think of Jesus' words in Matthew chapter 5, where he says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." Now, here's the thing. You cannot be a peacemaker until you have peace with God. Ultimately, this peace with God, it comes only through Jesus Christ, where when we put our faith in Jesus, and the work that he did on the cross, he takes all of our sin upon himself, and he gives us in exchange all of his righteousness. So when God the Father sees us, he sees the righteousness of Christ, and we can live at peace with God. Isn't that great news? We can have peace with God because of Jesus. But if you're anything like me, you're not living at total peace with God right now. There are still conflicts within your spirit, where God is wanting you to do one thing, but your flesh is wanting you to do another. Here's an example from just a couple days ago. God woke me up at about 3 a.m. and he asked me to pray for someone. He said, "Get up, get on your knees and pray." And I said, "Awesome. What if I stayed in bed?" And he said, "No, get up and pray." So I was like, all right. So I stayed in bed, right? And I prayed. And I prayed for just a couple minutes, but then I fell right back asleep. And it was as though there was this war within me, this conflict, this lack of peace between me and God, where God was wanting me to do one thing, but I wanted to do something different. Now, maybe you've experienced this. Maybe you've had a moment where God's woken you up in the middle of the night to pray. Or maybe you felt this conflict when God's asked you to go share your faith with someone on the street or your coworker. Or maybe it's in worship. Do you have peace in worship when you're singing about the goodness of God and your spirit, you're just overjoyed and you want to celebrate, you want to dance and shout, and then you look around and everybody's just kind of standing there and you get real insecure and stuff like that, so you just sit there and you're like, all right, thank you, Jesus. Do you have peace with God when he wants you to celebrate or dance like David danced? Keep your clothes on, right? So here's what I want to do. I want to encourage you to say yes to God, to wake up, or right now as you're watching this, to make a decision to say yes to God and watch how things change. Frank Lobach, he said this: "As for me, I never lived. I was half dead. I was a rotting tree until I reached the place where I wholly, with utter honesty, resolved and then re-resolved that I would find God's will. And I would do that will, though every fiber in me said no. And I would win the battle in my thoughts. It was as though some deep artesian well had been struck in my soul. Money, praise, opposition, they don't make a difference, for they will all alike be forgotten in 1,000 years. But this spirit which comes to a mind set upon continuous surrender, that spirit is timeless." So say yes to God this week. Make a decision to walk in peace with God wherever he may lead. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless you.